Yeah. So, well, we're into episode 3 of Initial Replays, I believe it's called now. We're going to be joined by a legend and, a friend and my personal mentor, Annie Yarbrough,
You too.
owner of Rhodium Publishing, but also a fantastic artist in her own right. One that one that drew me to wanting to release music with Rhodium Publishing because of that Christmas that I spent listening to the music that you had released at that point, and was blown away by. And that was the once we had that first conversation. Once we had that first conversation, it kind of just sealed the deal.
I'll pay you later for all of these nice things.
We're trying to make you as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah.
It's like bigger cut of the royalties.
And obviously we're here to discuss and listen to a song that you've chosen by an artist that has drawn you in. Tell us about that song that we're gonna.
Yeah, the song is Twice by Little Dragon. I think I actually first heard that on a TV show years ago, and I think it's been synced so many times I can't remember what show that was. I don't know, I love moody, contemplative, brooding music, so I think this just like sums that up perfectly. And what I like about Dragon is that they do this blend of acoustic and electronic instrumentation really, really well in like unique ways, and I think that's what really drew me in. And it's funny because I think it's that same thing with like modern classical that has kind of sucked me into that world a little, is just the possibilities there. So yeah, big fan.
Turn my back on you. I fell flat on my face but didn't lose. Tell me, where would I go? Tell me what led you on, I'd love to know. Was it the blue night gone fragile? Was it about the man in wonder steady gone under? Was it the light waves so frightening? Was it a two wheels? One a mirror holding a steerer now?
Her voice is well distinct. Like it's them.
Silky smooth, yeah.
I thought I had an answer once, but your random away swept me alone. Colossal sign, so I got lost with so many lovers singing songs. Was it the blue night gone fragile? Was it about the man
getting stuck on that? Yes, doing the kind of the.
Was it the light waves so frightening? Was it a two wheels? One a mirror holding a steering now?
the synth plays around that too.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's
That's
a really
beautiful.
cool track.
Yeah, it's still a favorite. I think I heard it. Must be. I don't know how old is that now. It's probably pretty old, but heard it a few years ago for the first time, and just keep coming back to it. It's like, you know, every time someone asks what kind of music you like, I'm like this. So,
2007 is what
wow,
it says here.
that is old. I definitely didn't hear it in 2007. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize it was from
Yeah.
back then. The first time I heard her voice was on a featuring track that she did with Subtract
Okay.
in 2011 called Wildfire.
Mm.
And, you know, in my own ignorance, I never really bothered to go and find out anything else. And then as soon as you know, had sent this through, and obviously I listened to it a couple of times a week, I just remembered how distinct her voice is, and it's just immediate. Just know that it's her.
Yeah, I know. I think a lot of the music of theirs that I have stumbled onto, it hasn't been me searching it out. It's like hearing it on TV or in different scenes, and I think they do so well in that kind of avenue in like the sync world, just because it's such mood music and it just creates an amazing atmosphere. And yeah, I like music like that.
Where did you first catch it?
I can't remember. I think it might have been Revenge years ago. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a good show.
I know of it. I haven't seen it. But
yeah. It's a good one. No, I think it was on that one. I'm pretty sure, but I mean, it has been on a bunch. Yeah.
Once they get on one, it's like everyone else
Yeah.
starts to pick it up too, it seems.
So I think it's still kicking around as well, because I feel like I've heard it on recent stuff as well. And yeah.
I love the blend of obviously you talked a little bit about blending the organic elements with the electronics, and
yeah.
I like this kind of minimal thing where there's so much space, but it leaves such room for her voice, which Ben talked about being so distinct. And it's just when the chorus comes in and it's double tracked and really wide. Yeah, it's really, really powerful. Reminded me a bit of Dreaming of Ghosts. I don't know if you've heard. It's like Robot Cook and
right. Yes.
and Fiora's project. Yeah, it kind of reminded me a bit of that, like the production and everything. I'm curious if they took some inspiration from this.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and listen to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was not familiar with them at all until Ben told me that this was your selection, and I've been enjoying listening. I tried not to listen to this too much, so as not to ruin today, but I did listen to some of the other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Super interesting. And I don't know, I think they do space really well as well. Like everything's very spacious and simple in the right way, I guess. And I think that's why I've always liked it. Like that piano line you mentioned before, you know, it's really, really simple, but it's just perfect for the song. And yeah, I think, they do a lot right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
so could you recommend a place to start? Well, obviously apart from this track, but with Little Dragon as a whole, is this part of an album that you would recommend, you know, beginning with if I wanted to go and listen to more?
I do like this album. I don't know, I think with them their catalog is so varied. I think honestly they're one of those bands you could go in and put on shuffle and you'll just find all kinds of different stuff in there. But they had an album, I have to figure out the name of it, maybe I can look it up, but they have this song called Mirror, and it's just super, super interesting as well.
Is this
you might
from
like
their
it, Ben.
Is this from their debut album?
This one, I believe so.
Yeah, it's the first
Funnily
one.
enough, I found them performing this live on KEXP.
No
Because
way.
I like you, I didn't want to listen to the studio version, or I wanted to listen to some other stuff before we started, but yeah, found this on KEXP and just thought, oh, okay, I've got to go and check this out, and it was really intense. The performance was great.
Yeah, they did an NPR Tiny Desk from Home concert last year during lockdown, and I watched that.
Amazing.
I think a couple days ago. It's just really good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so this one is the title track off the lead track off their debut in 2007. I really like. I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of this, but they've got one in 2014 called Nabuma Rubber Band. The lead track on that is super interesting to me. Ben, as a drummer, I think you'll appreciate that one. So,
okay,
I would check
all right.
Super unique.
I'll be doing that. This sounds like another level.
Super simple, and then the way it's written is just masterful in my opinion, because they just make these simple elements really impactful. Yeah, the drums are really cool in that.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've come to appreciate more. I think Ben and I talked in our first episode about how my musical background was all about music that was maybe more about virtuosity and complexity, and like how many notes can we add into a short amount of time. So yeah, just kind of more recently in the last 10 years or so, getting into minimalism and things like that. I've really come to appreciate things like this that allow room to breathe, Plus it makes mixing a lot easier, so that's always good.
Yeah, sure. I know. I have a love-hate relationship with minimalism for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So many
What do you
things I
mean?
appreciate about it, but I love textures, and I love the drama, and I love the Impressionists, and I love that whole era of shoving 1,000 notes into something that you may not need, but it sounds really cool. And just like marrying that with the more contemporary landscape, a challenge at times, but yeah. I love it. I get bored of it. I come back to it,
Well, it's kind of it's always, and it's hard to tell what the intent of an artist is, obviously, but to me, it's always like if you choose to do that, to do something that's simple is different than doing something that's simplistic. Because if it's simplistic, then that's all you can do. So that's what you're doing. It's like, that's not a matter of taste. That's a matter of, I only have one jacket in my closet, so that's what I'll grab, But yeah, if you're choosing, to go with something more simple, but you can still tell, like through craftsmanship, like something like this, it works, and it's not easy to make something simple work.
I think to do simple well is the challenge. Yeah.
And of course that's all subjective, to each individual
as is
person,
everything.
Exactly. So but that's a great point. Yeah.
Ben looks like he's occupied with something.
Yeah. Sorry guys.
Researching.
No, this we'll have to cut this out, but
it's fine.
I've literally just been told that I need to extend this subscription to soon. Otherwise, we're gonna be like run out of time. And then we'll just literally fix that in post, as we usually do.
Good.
I'm leaving all this
hopefully,
in. This is why we're not doing it live, people.
Yeah, imagine that. Oh, what was that password that and now it's asking me like, click all the fire hydrants. Man. Guys, I'm nearly there. Right.
We now have unlimited minutes. And now have unlimited minutes. Thank you, host.
Yeah.
Got it all.
Now I have about 108 different transactions if we had any, viewers. Yeah, so where were we? Talking about simplicity, when I first heard the track and I was focusing on the instrumental for the first time, it reminded me of one of my favorite albums by Talk Talk, Laughing Stock, because about the space that they left in between and how they filled the space and what they used with the ambience. And so, drawing upon what you talked about earlier about the use of synth and electronic sounds in between the piano movements, I was just, it really reminds me of that. And obviously that's another episode altogether. But
those synth lines are really fun as well. I love how explorative those are, because the piano is actually super simple. I mean, basically 2 notes, but yeah, the synth is kind of all over the place. And I think round about the time I first heard this, I was doing much more for sync even than I am now. But the reason I loved it so much is that it was very, it was appropriate for key that way. So I didn't need to be a guitarist. I didn't need to be, whatever else. I was like, oh, synth and piano, I can do this. So yeah, I think I liked it for that reason too. I was like, oh, keys-based music, that works.
Yeah, that's always nice. Yeah, there's too much guitar in the world. Too much guitar and drums in the world. Wouldn't you agree, Anna?
Those drums, man, they make my life hard. Everyone loves the drums.
Oh, I'm sure. That playlists really well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Every time they're like, wow, give me with these drums.
Well, I am 100% about conforming to playlists. So.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I'm really interested to see where it goes in the future, because I feel like everything always works to extremes. And we've had the whole like minimalism and the sleepy whatever playlists. And then I'm really curious if there'll be like some kind of bounce back, and maybe, I don't know, curators will start looking for complicated stuff. Oh, Moonshine.
We have a new guest to the podcast today.
It's supposed to be locked away upstairs, but clearly just broke that room. Yep.
That's no problem. Literally, as far as my hand can reach, Lola is just off screen there. She's been there like most of the afternoon.
Excellent.
So
yeah, so I was going to say about talking about the electronics. Yeah, I really like the way the piano, it was kind of consistent throughout and never changed. So it kind of rooted things down. And then the way that those kind of synth lines came in around that, I found that really interesting. Almost kind of like reminded me a bit of Massive Attack in that way, like the way that,
Yeah.
I love Massive Attack.
Yeah, I think we're all fans.
And, I was going to say an influence of yours, right? I
can
hear that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, and for me too, it's definitely in that park of sounds. I'm really excited to listen to more, and I can't believe that if you're saying that that's an opening tune from their first album, and then I heard her voice featuring on a tune 10 years ago, and I've done nothing about it. Now I just feel, really foolish, and I'm really excited. Yeah.
We have one thing that I like about this show so far is we always have a lot of homework to do after whatever, because we get exposed to things that we may not be that familiar with, or we may have heard kind of in passing before, but we haven't really dug into. So that's kind of the whole idea behind this, is just sharing things that we like, and not just talking about our own, music all the time, which we do enough of.
Sick,
so
sick to death of. Right.
Yeah. But on that note, Anna, tell us about your new release.
My new release is called Sojourn, or Sojourn, depending on what part of the world you're from. I went to start mark and I was like, wait, what is this called? How do I pronounce it? So yeah, it is a 3-track piano EP, recorded during quarantine, like everybody says of every release in the last year. but yeah, it's just super raw, super super intimate, and this cat is just going to be the distraction for the rest of today.
Is he also
Anyway.
featured in the EP?
Probably.
Anyway.
I'm sure there's a noise on there somewhere in the recording that is him. I think actually one of the earlier recordings, I could hear his collar jingling. So I was like, should I leave that in or
field recording?
Yeah, field recording, right? So I think I actually thought about doing a scavenger hunt for a while, and then I was like, is this going to hurt me or help me? But I thought, maybe I should tell people to find the elevator noise, the noise of the cat. Find a moment where my neighbor walks upstairs or something, and about doing a musical scavenger hunt. I still might. It sounds kind of fun.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I would be really into that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, because I know the songs really well now, and obviously you've talked about the creakiness and the fragility of the recording, which I think is everything in its character. I think that it makes it really stand out.
Yeah, Moonshine agrees.
Yeah. And what are you working on at the moment, and what is going to be the next release for you?
I'm not sure what's going to be the next release. I'm working on a piano track that's probably going to appear on a compilation. But it's for two pianos, and I've never written anything or recorded anything for two pianos. So it sounds real right now when I've sketched it, and I think the recording process is probably going to be a nightmare. So we'll see. But that's one of the things I'm working on. And then I've got an album project that I'm in the middle of mixing that should be out soonish. Yeah, in the next few months probably. So that's piano, strings, field recordings. It's a bit of a mix. So that'll be a fun one.
Anna, you're doing, I know we talked about your EP already. You're doing kind of a cool thing with your postcards. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I just have, actually I think I have them sitting here somewhere, or I did. But I printed postcards of the artwork, and I've just been sending them to people around the world, which has been really fun. I want to show you them.
How did you put them together? Are these Polaroids and things like that, or?
So the postcards aren't. The postcards are, so the artwork of all of the different singles and the EP as a whole was captured by Rachel Woolley Davis, who I think you guys probably both know. So she sent along like the full res photos for those, and then I just used a company to turn them into postcards, and they came out just so beautifully. Super thick, just like collective. A collectible kind of deal, but we have one for like the EP cover, and then each of the 3 tracks has one assigned to it as well, so that's kind of fun. And yeah, it was just kind of one of those ideas I had in an era of digital music, just to add something a bit more physical back into the mix. And I think as well, for something as short as an EP, it's kind of hard to market physical products because it's kind of too short to do CDs or vinyl and have it be worthwhile, so it was kind of just a fun little thing where I could connect with the people who wanted to listen. And
I think that's a great idea.
I think it's worked really well, and certainly hearing about it, I know exactly what you mean with releasing it digitally. There's something about there being something physical.
Yeah, for sure. I love the physical products.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And then I'm working on a sheet music book for that as well. It's kind of a hard project to explain because it's such a simple project in a simple time during quarantine, and nothing was going on. And I think it's just simplicity, hopefully done well. But yeah, the sheet music book, we've used Rachel's artwork and we've just made it absolutely beautiful. And I've written a lot about the story behind it and everything, and just little things about each of the pieces. And I think it's turning out really well. trying to get the final print back soon, hopefully next week, and we'll see. But yeah, I've loved that process. If I had to do anything again, it would definitely be the sheet music book that has been the most rewarding for me.
What have you enjoyed so much about it, and when can we expect to grab one?
Hopefully soon. I think, I don't know, there's just something so rewarding about seeing the music written down for me. And I think it kind of ties into the fact that I used to be an artist. I say used to be because I just, have very little time for anything outside of music anymore. But I used to paint a lot and draw a lot. And I think just having that visual component is just super, super satisfying to me. And, writing all the music and having it look pretty, and the artwork, just seeing that in physical form is just really satisfying. Even if I never sell a book, I'm so glad I did it, because it's going to be nice to have on my shelf at least. And I don't know, I'm hoping prints by the final test prints by next week, and then hoping for a month out from the release, but we'll see.
I agree with you about all of those points, especially all the physical products that we can have as an extra experience to go with what we listen to.
Yeah, for sure.
Anna, do you have anything else you want to say about what we listened to today, or
nothing particularly deep, but check them out if you've liked what you've heard. And I really enjoy, I don't know about you guys, you can weigh in on this, but I really enjoy listening to stuff outside of the genre that I work in. I actually don't listen to stuff in the genre that I work in all that much, aside from work stuff. I get a lot of playlist submissions and things like that, but I think it almost takes the fun out of it for me a little bit. So I think when it's on my own time, I to find those other genres that I love and just spend more time there. And I think that in turn informs obviously what I do on the classical side. But I'm sure you guys know something about that.
Completely agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I that's resonated with me. Yeah. Massively.
Yeah. So I'd say my two favorite genres, it's hard to do. Basically alternative anything. I find like mainstream in any genre a little hard to swallow at times, but always like a good alternative pasted in front of any genre. It always kind of makes it interesting. And then the blues, actually, which I do not write a shred of because I didn't grow up with those. That was very much once I moved to the States that I started listening to that kind of music and just love it. Love it.
It's from my neck of the woods down here.
Yep.
It's being in that place, isn't there?
I think so. And I think it's just the same kind of things resonate with me, just the rawness and soul of it, I guess. And I think that is the common theme for me in the kind of music I enjoy. It just always has that element, no matter what the genre is. So, yeah.
Anna, thanks so much. Where can people find you? Like Instagram, Twitter, various
probably
places,
most
website?
Active on Instagram, Twitter, website, annayarbrough.com.
Yeah, and be sure to check out Rhodium Publishing, which is like more of a kind of like a blog for the modern classical genre. And the Rhodium label, which is doing incredible things, and obviously Ben is a big part of that. And I'm just blowing up
You'll be
my
part of it
meters
soon,
over here. Yeah, I'm an honorary member of the
awesome.
Rhodium family. I like
exciting.
to say so.
Next month
All
is a
right.
big month for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ben, you want to take us out since you brought us in?
I'll try.
Do that outro that we rehearsed. All right, everybody. This has been an episode of Initial Replays with Anna Yarbrough. Thank you so much for listening and watching.